come on in. I'm Kristen. Nice to meet you. And what's your name?
I'm Sydney.
Sydney? How are you doing today, Sid?
Okay.
That's good. Anything exciting happening lately? No? That's fine.
Nope.
That's normal. So, before we get started, I just want to let you know, my name is Kristen. If you have any questions, please feel free to stop me as we are going through this process. I'm a social worker for Happy Hearts social working agency. I'm here to assess any information or any situations that you have occurring currently in your life. Everything that you say to me will remain confidential other than 4 things, which are if anything happens and your information needs to be subpoenaed to court, there's a threat to yourself or someone else, any suspected child abuse or sexual abuse to another child, obviously, or a medical emergency. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so everything will remain confidential. If you don't mind just signing right there for me, that would be good. Okay, thank you very much. So Sydney, what brings you in today? Oh, one thing that I do want to point out, my interviewing skills. I do like to jot things down while interviewing. Will that be a problem for you? I just want to make sure that I cover everything that you say to me and that I do give you full counseling.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay, perfect. So, Sydney, what brings you here today?
I don't even need to be here. I think it's stupid that I'm here. There's no reason.
Do you think the whole idea of counseling is stupid, or the reason that you're here is stupid?
The reason that I'm here is stupid. I don't need someone to tell me what's wrong with me.
Okay, so why do you think you're here? Who brought you here?
My husband. We went to the hospital, and the hospital told me that I need to come here, so he dragged me here, and here we are.
Okay, so you said he dragged you. Why does he think that you need to be here then?
He thinks I'm sad all the time, or whatever. I don't know. He's crazy.
Why does he think you're sad?
What's
going on?
I came back from a trip a while ago, and ever since then, our relationship's just been weird. We haven't really talked.
You haven't talked?
No.
No? Is there anything that you've been doing, like, about how are you, like, what happened, like, on your trip? Do you want to talk about that? If it's iffy, we can come back to it if you want, or we don't have to touch on it.
Well, if as long as like when we talk about it, it stays between us.
Yeah. Okay. Just remember, it will stay between us, other than it being subpoenaed to court. If you are gonna hurt anyone else, or if you're gonna endanger yourself, any child abuse or medical emergency. Just remember that. But other than that, I'm all ears. I'm all yours. Everything will stay between us.
Okay. So I recently finished school.
Oh,
I was in school for nursing.
Okay.
And I finished schooling, and after that, I decided to go traveling, and I just wanted to travel, see the world, do stuff on my own before I get into a job or anything like that. So I went to different places. I went to all around Europe. I went to Africa, and then I made a trip to Afghanistan.
Okay.
And I wanted to go different places after that, but it was my last stop.
Afghanistan was your last stop?
Yes. A lot of stuff happened there, and I need to leave.
You seem very distracted. Did something happen on your trip that made you not want to travel again?
I think that since my trip, I just realized that the world is a horrible place.
Yeah.
And everyone is outrageous. And what's the point of living if you're living in a world that's so horrible?
So full of hate.
Exactly. And I think Afghanistan definitely showed me that side.
Mm-hmm. What negative experiences did you feel? What happened? Did anything in particular push you over the edge, or was it just the overall atmosphere of your trip?
There was one event that definitely changed everything for me. Um, I woke up one morning and I could hear this uproar coming from outside the apartment I was staying at. And I walked outside and I saw this huge crowd gathered. And I'm thinking, what's going on? So
Was the crowd like cheering, or were they?
no, they were like screaming, and it just sounded so hateful. And I'm thinking, what is going on? So I get dressed, I walk down, I go to the crowd, and I make my way through. I finally see what everyone's cheering about or yelling about, and it's a woman, and she's in the middle of the crowd, and except she's not standing there, she's buried, and she's buried up to her neck, and there was a man standing there, and he had a pile of rocks. He was throwing them at this woman, and she was covered in blood. I've never seen so much blood, and I've never seen just so much pain coming from someone. And I didn't understand, and I couldn't comprehend why this man was hitting this girl with these rocks. She was so badly beaten that you could tell she was gonna die soon. And coming from where we live to seeing that now, it just blew my mind. And I was talking to a man who I met earlier that week about what's going on, and he said that this woman slept with another man, but she didn't sleep with him. She was raped by another man, and the husband of that woman did not like that, and and the punishment down there was if you were caught sleeping with another person, raped or not raped, the punishment was being stoned to death, and that's what was happening to her. And it just made me think, like, your husband, the person that you take all these vows with, is killing you because you got raped.
And they're happy doing it.
Exactly.
They're okay with doing it.
It just ruined my experience that I was having. It doesn't broaden your perspective of life. It ruins it. And I thought I can't do this, and I just came home, and I can't look at this world the same.
Do you think your husband sees what you? Do you think he understands what you saw? Have you shared it with him?
I've shared minor details with him. I told him all the stuff that I saw when I was traveling, and I told him I told him that I saw a woman getting stoned, and he was like, "Oh wow, that's crazy." He's never gonna understand.
What you actually saw.
He's never gonna know. And it makes me think, like, if that person's husband can do that to them, what stops anyone from doing that to each other? Best friend, or husband to wife, or mother to daughter. What's living in a world worth if the world is so horrible? And I've just, I feel like I've just shut everyone out.
Yeah. Do you believe you'll never travel again?
No, I'm done with traveling. I'm done with everything.
Did you know? I just want some more background about your traveling experience in Afghanistan. Did you look up any religion rules within Afghanistan? Like, did you look up the religion and how they do things there? Or did you know that? Did you understand that when a woman commits adultery there, did you understand that she would get killed? Or was that new or surprise to you?
It was new. I couldn't even think about how that's okay.
Because realistically here it's not.
Yeah.
Right. And it's right. You're completely right. In Canada, here, it is not right for a woman to be hit, let alone being killed, because of committing adultery. Now, unfortunately, as far as Afghanistan goes, you're thrown in a country that you have no idea what it is or how they live. For an example, in Afghanistan, and seeing that would definitely bring terror. What I believe and what I think you should look up on is the religion backgrounds, how it's biased, how what's right and wrong. Like for an example, in Canada, if you caught your husband cheating on you, would you divorce him?
Yeah.
So you're punishing him.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying what he did to her is right. Not at all. But what I'm saying is, in other countries, what happens there could be right. So her being stoned and her being killed could mean, like it could be a trophy. It could mean for the husband, hey, I'm putting my wife down. She committed adultery against me. That's that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand that?
Yeah.
What did traveling make you feel in the past? Ignore the trip that you just had. Take that completely out of your mind. How did traveling make you feel before Afghanistan? Tell me about your trip to Africa. How did that make you feel?
Amazing. I met the nicest people. I had the most amazing experience until Afghanistan.
Until Afghanistan? What kind of people did you meet? What did they do for you? What did you do for them?
I was volunteering in orphanages and doing HIV work, and they were the most giving people I've ever met. And traveling was my life. It's changed.
Yeah. Do you think now, what if you went back to Afghanistan and what if that didn't happen? Have you ever thought of that? What if it didn't happen? Do you think to this day you would still be traveling?
I do. A part of me's almost glad I saw what I saw, though. I feel like I'm wearing like a mask, and like the mask has been taken off, and I can see how everyone is and the real people. But
Yeah.
no one else sees it back here.
Yeah, no one else understands your point of view.
And my husband doesn't see it, my friends don't see it, my family doesn't see it. They're in La La Land, and there's no point of dealing with anyone.
I understand you. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that I understand what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Have you maybe, do you think sharing your story with your husband, sharing the impact that that had on you, and showing him that, hey, maybe you could be a little bit scared right now, have you shown him that? Like, do you think opening up to him may change things between you two?
I guess I never really thought about it. I haven't really had an opportunity to really sit down. I feel like it would just be weird if him and I just sat down and talked it out.
Yeah.
I really don't know how to start that off.
Okay. And how long do you think you've been, like, in this funk, I guess? How long do you think you've been not wanting to continue?
Well, I came back from a trip about a month and a half ago, and ever since then I've only stayed in my room. I haven't really gone out. The only time I've really gone out is to the hospital and here, and
When someone has made you.
maybe get the mail.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'd say you've generally left the house is when you have to leave, right? Okay. So you've been hanging out in your room. What have you been doing in your room? Have you been, like, working out? Pardon me. Sorry.
No, I haven't really been doing anything. I just like being by myself, and I usually just lie in my bed.
Yep.
Until nighttime, and then fall asleep. And maybe I'll watch. There's nothing really on TV to watch either. It's all the news.
Yeah, which obviously you don't care to see.
Animal Planet.
Yeah.
It seems like everything is like nothingness at this point.
It's worth nothing.
It's nothing.
Okay. And have you, just out of the blue, random question, you have had any experience with drugs or alcohol?
I don't do drugs.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'll have like a couple drinks every day.
Every day. You said every day.
Yeah. I don't think I have a problem. It's just it just feels better when I have a couple drinks and it doesn't feel like I have to. Like I keep seeing what's going on in the world and it doesn't.
So
I don't know. It helps.
So does the alcohol help you kind of escape from things? It's kind of like does it help you numb?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's almost like numbing the pain.
Okay. Is it hard alcohol? Is it beer?
I don't really like going out to the liquor store. I'll just drink whatever I can find. A box of wine or have a couple beers. Maybe a couple glasses of whiskey or two.
Okay.
For a good bed.
Okay. Okay. So you're drinking on your own in your room.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get out to go eat? Do you keep yourself active at all?
I don't find myself hungry. And
Okay.
I know like people say eat 3 square meals a day, but who does that anymore?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just want to do it your own way, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I see that. I see your atmosphere about that. And how do you feel about bringing in your husband to have a meeting with you and I and talking about things a little bit? Maybe then you can share with him what happened in Afghanistan.
Yeah. I guess I really never thought of it. I don't think I could talk to him, just him and I.
So would you like me to be there with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to bring him in? Okay, we can work on that. That's one thing we can work on.
Okay.
So then you don't have to necessarily worry about doing it on your own.
Yeah.
If anything goes wrong, which I'm sure it won't. You seem very strong about it right now and very opinionated about it. So I'm sure he'll understand how hurt you are by it, and he obviously cares about you since he brought you to the hospital and he brought you here,
Yeah.
right? Is he waiting for you out in the hall? Is he waiting for you in the car?
Yeah, he's waiting out in the area.
So he loves you. He cares about you. See that? Yeah. Okay. And remember what we talked about before? You said when you were traveling, it was your life, right? So why don't we potentially look at getting you back into that? I'm not saying get your ass out there and travel. I mean, maybe potentially go out and looking at some things. Maybe even watching Animal Planet. I mean, I know you may think it's stupid, but you loved it before when you went to Africa. You were side by side with those lions. So why don't you, you know what I mean? Maybe like potentially work yourself back into it.
Yeah.
Have you ever maybe thought of that? Maybe going to the shelter, going to check out the animals.
I think that if I was ever to get back into traveling, which I don't think I'm ready for yet.
Okay, understandable.
I think the first step would be going to my parents' house or going to the grocery store or
Doing something.
Like life isn't really anything anymore. I feel like, and I don't like that I think that.
Yeah. One thing I want to show you. I'm noticing a lot. In Afghanistan, you were shown a lack of care. You were shown a lack of love.
Mm-hmm.
When you're back at home, before you could see that lack of love. When you were in Africa, you could see how much love there was, and you could see all the people giving each other love. Now, have you ever thought of what if you just continued down the path you were doing right now? Do you think that girl potentially would continue to be stoned? Or do you think if you did something and you showed people, you told people your story, do you think something would happen to that? Do you think maybe people would start seeing that that's happening and maybe it could stop? Have you ever thought of sharing your story for the better?
Yeah. I guess I really never thought about that either. I think that the stoning issue and other people's religion is kind of taboo and really not talked about a lot.
Because it isn't.
And I just wish that I was more knowledgeable about that before it happened.
Okay. You just said something about getting knowledgeable on religions. There's something that my agency actually offers because obviously there are all different kinds of people in this world. There's non-religious, there are religious. There's people that believe in like nothing, and people that believe in just colors, right? So there's this group that we actually have that is a religious-based group. You don't have to believe in it. You can just go. It teaches you about religion. It teaches you basically about any religion without any bias. So if you're interested in looking at that, we can definitely work into that, getting you more educated. Would that help you at all?
You can try.
Yeah, that'd be cool. See, getting you out there, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
You said a lack of care. Like why care in this world, right? Do you feel that way?
Yeah. I feel like I didn't used to, but now it's like, the world is so horrible.
Yeah.
So what's the point of living with it?
Have you ever thought of suicide?
I guess I really haven't thought about that out loud.
To put it in an actual perspective.
Like right when I came back. Yeah. Yeah, I did. I have.
And if you do you want to elaborate more?
I don't know if I can do it, if I can go through with it, but I have definitely at some
You
point.
have thought about it?
I definitely have.
You just now do you want to do that because you believe there's no care in the world?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is that the main reason? Or
I feel like after I saw what happened with people, with someone who's supposed to love you so much,
yeah.
and did that, it's like what's stopping from anyone else to do that to each other?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't want to live in a world like that.
Okay. One thing you did just admit to me that you have thought of suicide. And it is because of lack of care. So, like I said before, what if you didn't do anything? Would it continue to happen? So if you didn't do anything today, if you didn't come here today, would you commit suicide? If you let it stay inside of you, do you believe you would commit suicide?
I think that if I didn't come in today, I think somewhere down the line I probably wouldn't have. But I feel like maybe we should test out all these options.
Oh, yes, for sure. And also,
and then see how it goes.
Your husband brought you here. He cares about you. He's not going to be the one to stone you, right? And maybe I do believe when we have our session together, you'll have a conversation with him, and he'll show that to you that he's not going to be the one to stone you. I believe you will see the efforts of other people, that people do care in this world. We need that faith in humanity back. We need to show that to you, that there is still humane people out there in this world. And there are. And you are yourself. Like, just telling me your story. You're being humane yourself, right? You're sticking up for that woman. You want to do something about that. You don't want that to continue happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you believe coming here today did something for you? Did it help bring it out?
Yeah. I didn't. I thought this was so stupid coming in. I'm glad I did.
What do you want to do now? What do you want to do today to help better yourself? What do you think you need to do?
Something as little as not staying in my room all day. Something as little as talking to my husband about something.
Okay.
Or just I'll sign up for a group, or maybe the group that you were talking about, that religion group.
Okay, yeah. There's also another group that I know I'm throwing all these groups at you, but I'm only doing this to benefit you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a group for post-traumatic stress disorder, and my clients that are in this are all past soldiers from Afghanistan. Now, they can share stories about their experiences that they've had, and they can also show you how it benefits them and how it's going to benefit us in the future in a different perspective.
And I can still go even though I'm on a soldier?
Oh, 100%. You've had the experience. You've been to Afghanistan. You've witnessed the same thing that they've witnessed. Why can't you, right?
Yeah.
Of course. So, would you be interested in coming to see these Afghanistan rooms? Yes? Okay, so that would be good. And I would like to have a meeting with you and your husband immediately to talk about the situation and to get him informed, because I believe that is going to be the best first step.
Okay.
How about, would you be okay with tomorrow around noon?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine? Okay, so tomorrow around noon we'll have a meeting. We'll get everything set up for you, and I really believe that this is going to be beneficial. Do you believe so also? Because look, you've got a smile on your face. Okay, thank you so much, Sydney.
Yeah.
No problem. Okay, here you go.
See you later.